Imagine a country that was previously at the top of the global financial power hierarchy, but is now seeing a huge migration of its wealthiest residents. Consider this scenario. Over 10,800 millionaires have left the United Kingdom in only 1 year, which is a startling number that compels us to ask, what is happening to the economy of this country as a result of the controversy and turbulence that her new financial policies have caused among investors? Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor of the Labour Party, is currently facing pressure the likes of which she has never experienced before. The United Kingdom has witnessed the highest exodus of millionaires in the world, with China being the only country that has surpassed it. 1 millionaire has departed the nation every 45 minutes since the Labour Party assumed power in the country. Destinations such as Italy, Switzerland, and the United Arab Emirates have emerged as the new havens for the wealthy. These are the locations where the wealthy may find the financial security that Britain can no longer promise. In the meanwhile, initiatives such as hiking the top rate of the capital gains tax to 24% and increasing the base rate of the tax from 10% to 18% have dealt a significant blow to the already weak trust of investors. There is more to this than a simple narrative about economic policy or stats. This should serve as a wake-up call for a system that appears to be spiraling out of control. One in which political actions are not only alienating the affluent but also gravely harming the economy as a whole. In the next video, we will go into the fundamental reasons that led to this exodus. These reasons range from the policies of the Labour Party and the long-term effects of Brexit to the long-term implications that have the potential to force the United Kingdom into one of the most difficult eras in its modern history. This is not only a story about economics. Rather, it is a sour lesson about accountability and the conspicuous lack of foresight that exists in politics. When it's too late, is it possible for Britain to reverse its course? Come along with me as we investigate the solutions. The fact of the matter is that when we consider the startling number of 10,800 millionaires who left the United Kingdom in the span of a single year, we are unable to overlook the issue of what genuinely compelled them to go. Perhaps it is the policy of the Labour Party, or perhaps it is the residual effects of Brexit. I believe that the reason is not a single person or event, but rather a confluence of political decisions that are short-sighted and the repercussions of an economy that is becoming increasingly lopsided. A good place to begin is with Rachel Reeves's policies. There is more to it than just a number on a piece of paper when it comes to increasing the capital gains tax from 10% to 18%, or the highest rate to 24%. Those investors who formerly considered Britain to be a secure location for their valuables have suffered a direct damage to their trust as a result of this. But it's possible that Reeves isn't the only person who bears blame, despite the fact that Brexit has been behind us for years. It continues to create wide fractures in the economy. A comment that received widespread acceptance made the following pithy observation: because of Brexit, we have lost over £2 trillion from the stock market and 40,000 jobs in the financial sector. This is not only an indicator of economic collapse. Rather, it is an ongoing indication of instability. We are unable to refute the fact that the affluent have made a large contribution to the national tax revenue, regardless of whether they are liked or despised. As another commenter pointed out, the top 1% of earners contribute 30% of the income tax in the United Kingdom. Who then will be able to fill this need once they have left? It is imperative that the Labour administration provide a response to this question. Until far, however, we have only witnessed quieter initiatives that are contentious, further undermining the trust of investors. Let's take a minute, however, to think about things from a different point of view. Is it true that the departure of millionaires has the same negative impact as us, despite the fact that they have garnered huge benefits from the facilities and opportunities provided by Britain? These individuals continue to refuse to pay their fair bit to support society. According to some, let them depart if they do not wish to pay additional taxes in order to improve public services. As stated in a statement that is rather straightforward, those individuals who have a genuine concern for this nation will remain, despite the fact that it causes division. This viewpoint compels us to examine our preconceived notions regarding money, responsibility, and the contribution we make to society. At this point, what is the answer? During the time that millionaires and billionaires are leaving the country, we cannot do nothing but watch. The departure of these individuals not only reduces vital financial resources but also does damage to the prestige and stability of the United Kingdom. In spite of this, we must also acknowledge the harsh reality that, in the absence of major policy shifts that encourage investment and increase productivity, Even the affluent individuals who are still in existence will not be able to salvage a suffering economy. It is important to note that this is not only a narrative about policy or figures. When it comes to political responsibility and the delicate balance that must be maintained between luring investment and guaranteeing social fairness, this is a terrible lesson to learn. As observers and analysts, it is our responsibility to pose challenging questions and insist on receiving unambiguous responses that the Labour administration, along with all other political parties, must realize that they cannot continue to govern without taking into consideration the implications of their policies is something that they must comprehend. Is it possible for the United Kingdom to regain the trust of investors and to keep its position on the international economic stage? This is the obstacle that we need to investigate collectively and work hard to conquer altogether. The question is, what remains after all of the disputes and the astounding numbers? There are indications of deeper instability in the economic and social history of the United Kingdom, and we are experiencing not just a short-term financial crisis but also signals of this instability. The departure of billionaires is not only a matter of personal preferences, rather, it compels us to contemplate the historical elements that played a role in the formation of Britain's worldwide position, the political blunders that were made, and the shortcomings of the present government's approach to economic management. Over the course of history, Britain has been the financial center of the globe, luring the affluent and multinational organizations to invest and expand their operations there. On the other hand, things have evolved. Iconic political decisions such as Brexit did more than just cut trade relations with Europe. They also undermined the basis of faith in Britain's capacity to continue to play a leadership role in the world. One comment that was well supported brought this point home perfectly. Levers destroyed the economy and left us vulnerable to oligarchs and despotic regimes. It is not only a matter of opinion. Rather, it is a clear truth that is shared by a great number of observers. When viewed from an economic point of view, the tax increases proposed by Labour are but a small part of a much broader conundrum. It is impossible for a robust economy to continue functioning if it is burdened by a tiny group, regardless of how affluent that group may be. It was pointed out in another remark that the top 1% of earnings are responsible for up to 30% of the nation's total tax revenue. When these folks believe that they have been unfairly attacked, what happens? Because of their departure, not only will there be a loss of money resources, but there will also be a loss of possibilities for company development, investment, and innovation, which are the fundamental components of economic expansion. The social justification for taxing the wealthy is sometimes provided under the garb of justice. Is it, however, the answer to the problem? The following issue was raised in a remark that was quite intriguing. Let them go if they do not want to pay more taxes in order to improve public services. However, are we prepared to deal with the repercussions that this loss of such an important financial resource will bring? One of the most important issues that this highlights is that politics cannot rely entirely on ideology or feelings. The use of pragmatism and a concentration on long-term gains, as opposed to short-term appeasement, is required. In light of the fact that I am opposed to the policies of the Labour Party, I am unable to overlook the irresponsible character of their approach. Raising taxes without giving them sufficient thought not only undermines the trust of investors, but it also sends a perilous message. Britain is no longer the perfect location to build careers and accumulate riches. When a nation alienates people who are responsible for driving economic value, it cannot flourish. In addition to this, however, the narrative is not just about a political party or a government. Specifically, it is about the future of Britain and how we may redefine our place in a world that is becoming increasingly unstable. It was noted in a remark that we need an independent government with business experience and the ability to seize opportunities. This is an accurately expressed statement. I couldn't agree with you more. The moment has come for the United Kingdom to conduct a thorough examination of itself, not just to rectify errors of the past, but also to re-establish a balance between social equity and sustainable economic growth. This is not only the responsibility of a single administration, rather, it is the obligation of all of us on a collective level. It is possible that the losses we will suffer will be far bigger than we could have ever imagined if we do not take action right now. As we stand here at this pivotal juncture in history, I would like to pose the following question to you. Do you think that Britain will be able to restore its previous position? Are you of the opinion that the policies that are now in place are causing damage to our economy and detracting us even farther from a thriving future? In the event that you find these questions to be meaningful, then the time has come for us to collaborate and take action. In addition to watching this movie, I would like to extend an invitation to you to participate in this discussion by providing your comments. Please share your thoughts on the present situation by leaving a comment below. I am interested in hearing your perspective. The administration seems to be heading in the right direction. Yet, is it time for a change? Your viewpoint is not only a response. Rather, it is an essential component of a bigger conversation that has the potential to foster a more favorable future. Please do not hesitate to click the like button if you recognize the significance of the material presented here and feel that it should be shared with others. Not only does this demonstrate to me that the findings of my study are significant, but it also assists others in gaining these vital insights. First and foremost, I encourage you to click the subscribe button so that you may accompany me on this journey of analysis, discussion, and the exploration of deeper views on British politics. The future of our country is not exclusively in the hands of individuals who hold political office. Rather, it is in the hands of each and every one of us who are ready to stand up and take action for what is right. Even while we might not be able to make all of the necessary changes overnight, even the smallest of steps can lead to a more significant shift. Beginning today, let's work together to make a difference in the world. You can join me in challenging the existing quo, asking difficult questions, and demanding a better Britain for all of us by commenting, and subscribing to this channel.